Before the mask sealed his fate, before the mechanical breath echoed through star destroyers, before galaxies trembled at his name, there was a boy who dreamed beneath twin suns. A slave child with no father, born of the Force itself, destined to bring balance to a galaxy teetering on the edge of darkness. They called him the Chosen One. They believed he would save them all. But prophecies are dangerous things. They speak of destiny, yet say nothing of the choices that lead us there. They promise salvation, but never mention the cost. Imagine a Jedi Knight, the hero the Republic celebrated, standing in a hallway of the temple he once called home, lightsaber ignited, children cowering before him, the very younglings he once trained alongside, now seeing the monster he has become. One asks him, "Master Skywalker, what are we going to do?" And the blade rises. How does love become fear? How does fear become rage? How does the Chosen One, prophesied to destroy the Sith, become the very darkness he was meant to vanquish? This is not just a story of a fall. This is the complete journey of Anakin Skywalker. From the sand-swept streets of Tatooine to the throne room of the second Death Star, every choice, every loss, every moment that carved away at his soul until nothing remained but Darth Vader. Hey everyone! Tonight we journey through the entire life of the galaxy's most tragic figure, the slave who became a hero, the hero who became a monster, and the monster who, in his final breath, became a father. So before you settle in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Here's something interesting. 71% of you watching right now haven't subscribed yet. If you're enjoying these deep dives into Star Wars lore, hitting that subscribe button genuinely helps this channel grow and lets me create more stories like this. Drop a comment telling me where you're listening from and what time it is in your corner of the galaxy. I love seeing this community span across time zones and continents. Whether it's midnight in New York or dawn in Tokyo, we're all here together. Now dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that gentle background hum. Get comfortable under your blanket, and let's begin at the very beginning, where a mother's love and a boy's dreams were all that stood between hope and despair. May the Force be with you, always. Our story begins 41 years before the Battle of Yavin, on a world forgotten by the Republic, ignored by the Senate, and abandoned by hope itself, Tatooine. A desert planet circling twin suns so merciless that they bake the sand into glass and burn away anything resembling mercy. In the cramped, dusty streets of Mos Espa spaceport, where the air shimmers with heat and desperation, where moisture farmers and smugglers rub shoulders with bounty hunters and slaves, a child is born. His name is Anakin Skywalker. His mother is Shmi, a slave woman of quiet dignity and endless love. His father, she will say, was no one. But this is not entirely true, because Anakin Skywalker has no father at all. He was conceived by the Force itself, the midi-chlorians creating life where there should be none. But he does not know this yet. He only knows that he is a slave, property of Gadula the Hutt first, then sold to Watto, a junk dealer whose shop smells of oil and ozone and broken dreams. Watto is a Toydarian, hovering on translucent wings, immune to Force suggestion, interested only in profit. Young Anakin works in this shop, surrounded by broken starship parts and discarded droids, learning to fix what others have thrown away. The boy is 9 years old when our story truly begins, but already he is extraordinary. His reflexes are impossibly fast. He can see things before they happen, feel the shape of the future in his bones. When he races pods through Beggar's Canyon, navigating at speeds that should pulverize any human pilot, he does not understand that he is touching something greater than himself. He only knows that when he races, he is free. For those brief screaming moments, hurtling between canyon walls at 700 kilometers per hour, he is not a slave. He is not property. He is pure motion, pure possibility. At night, in the small hovel he shares with his mother, Anakin dreams. Dreams of leaving this desert prison. Dreams of becoming a Jedi, though he has only heard whispers of them, legends of warrior monks with laser swords who protect the galaxy. Dreams of returning one day, not as a slave but as someone who matters, and freeing every slave on Tatooine. His mother, Shumi, encourages these dreams, even though they break her heart, because she knows, in the way mothers know things that cannot be explained, that her son is meant for something beyond this life of servitude. She tells him, "You were meant to help people, Anakin. You have a special purpose." And when he asks what that purpose is, she can only smile and say, "You'll know when the time comes." In his free hours, Anakin builds. He is constructing a protocol droid from scavenged parts, hoping to give his mother a helper, something to ease her burden. He names the droid C-3PO, and though it is barely functional, made from rusted components and salvaged wiring, it represents something profound. A slave child who owns nothing, creating something from nothing, giving life to metal and circuits. Even now the Force works through him in ways he cannot comprehend. The twin suns of Tatooine rise and set, rise and set. Days blur into years. Anakin grows, but his circumstances do not change. He remains a slave. His mother remains a slave. And the galaxy beyond the stars turns without knowing or caring that on this worthless ball of sand, the chosen one is building a droid and dreaming of freedom. Then, in the year 32 before the Battle of Yavin, everything changes. A Naboo starship, damaged and desperate, lands in Mos Espa. Aboard are Queen Amidala, her protectors, and two Jedi, Master Qui-Gon Jinn, a maverick Jedi with a reputation for following the will of the Force rather than the dictates of the Council, and his apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi, younger then, more rigid, certain of the Order's wisdom. They need parts to repair their hyperdrive. They have no Republic credits, nothing of value in this corner of the Outer Rim, where the Republic holds no sway. They are stranded. And into their path walks a 9-year-old slave boy who offers to help. Qui-Gon Jinn looks at this child and feels something stir in the Force, something immense, something that makes his breath catch. When he secretly tests Anakin's blood, the results are impossible. The boy's midi-chlorian count is over 20,000, higher than Master Yoda, higher than any Jedi in recorded history, so high that it should not be possible. Qui-Gon begins to suspect what Anakin is, though he dares not speak it aloud yet. The Jedi have long told tales of a prophecy, a chosen one who will bring balance to the Force, born of no father, conceived by the midi-chlorians themselves. For 1,000 years, this has been myth, ancient words from ancient texts. But looking at this slave child with stars in his eyes, Qui-Gon wonders if prophecy is about to become reality. To earn the parts they need and win Anakin's freedom, Qui-Gon makes a dangerous wager with Watto. Anakin will race in the Boonta Eve pod race, one of the most lethal sporting events in the galaxy. If he wins, he goes free. If he loses, Qui-Gon loses his ship. The odds are impossible. No human has ever won a pod race. The reflexes required are beyond human capability. But Anakin is not merely human. He is something more. The race is a screaming blur of speed and violence. Pods explode. Pilots die. A dug racer named Sebulba tries to kill Anakin multiple times, smashing into his pod, forcing him into cliff walls. But Anakin does not simply react. He anticipates. He feels the turns before they come. He knows where Sebulba will strike before the dug moves. The Force flows through him like lightning, and he does not even understand what he is using. He wins, against all probability, against all reason. He wins. And in that moment, everything changes. Watto must honor the bet. Anakin is free, but there is a catch, a cruelty that will haunt him for the rest of his life. Qui-Gon could only bargain for one slave's freedom. He chose Anakin. Shmi remains behind. The goodbye between mother and son is quiet devastation. Shmi holds her boy and tells him, "Don't look back, be brave, and don't look back." Anakin, 9 years old and trying not to cry, asks the question that will echo through the decades, "Will I ever see you again?" And his mother, her heart breaking, can only say, "What does your heart tell you?" He whispers, "I hope so." She smiles through tears. "Then we will see each other again." But hope is a fragile thing, and the future is darker than either of them can imagine. Anakin Skywalker leaves Tatooine with the Jedi, a slave child freed. A boy with the highest Force potential ever recorded. A child who does not yet know that he is the chosen one, destined to bring balance to the Force. He does not know that balance will cost him everything, that love will become his chain, that fear will be his master, that the boy who leaves Tatooine dreaming of helping people will one day stand in the Jedi Temple with a lightsaber, slaughtering the innocent. But for now, he is just a boy, leaving his mother, looking back one last time at the only home he has ever known. The twin suns setting behind him, and ahead the stars, infinite, waiting, unforgiving. The journey to destiny has begun, and destiny, as we will see, is the cruelest master of all. The journey from Tatooine to Coruscant takes days, but for Anakin Skywalker, it might as well be crossing into another universe entirely. He has never seen green, real green, the kind that grows on trees and grass. On Tatooine, everything is brown, or tan, or bleached white by the suns. But as the Naboo starship descends through Coruscant's atmosphere, he sees a planet that is entirely city, buildings stretching up into the clouds, speeders flowing like rivers of light. Billions of beings living on top of each other in layers that go down so far that sunlight never reaches the lowest levels. Qui-Gon Jinn brings him to the Jedi Temple, a structure so massive that it makes Anakin feel smaller than he ever has. Inside, the halls are quiet, reverent. Jedi move past in robes of brown and tan, their faces calm, their presence somehow both comforting and unsettling. They feel different, like they are listening to something Anakin cannot quite hear. The Jedi Council chambers are circular, with 12 seats arranged in a ring. Masters of the Order, the wisest and most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. Master Yoda, ancient beyond measure, his eyes holding 900 years of knowledge and sorrow. Mace Windu, his presence like a controlled storm, stern and uncompromising. Here's Adi Mundi, Plo Koon, Adi Gallia, and others. They all turn their attention to this 9-year-old boy from the outer rim, and Anakin feels their scrutiny like physical weight. Qui-Gon presents his case. The boy's midi-chlorian count, his abilities, his birth with no father, the prophecy of the chosen one. But the council is not convinced, not easily swayed by talk of prophecy. They have lived too long and seen too much to trust in ancient predictions. They test him. Simple exercises at first. Identifying images on a screen while blindfolded, sensing objects hidden behind barriers. Anakin performs adequately, but he is nervous, overwhelmed. This is not like pod racing, where instinct takes over. This is deliberate, and he can feel their doubt pressing down on him. Master Yoda leans forward, his gimmer stick tapping the floor. "Fear I sense in you," the ancient master says, his voice thin but carrying absolute authority. Anakin tries to deny it, but Yoda is relentless. "Afraid to lose your mother, I think." The boy's face crumbles slightly. "What has that got to do with anything?" he asks. "Defensive. Everything," Yoda replies. "Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering." Mace Windu speaks then, his voice like a closing door. "The boy is too old. There is already too much fear in him. Training him would be dangerous. But Qui-Gon argues passionately. This is the chosen one. The Force has brought them together. They cannot simply ignore the will of the Force. The Council remains divided. They do not forbid Qui-Gon from taking the boy to Naboo, where the conflict with the Trade Federation is coming to a head. But they do not grant permission to train him either. The matter is left unresolved, hanging in the air like a blade waiting to fall. On Naboo, war erupts. The Trade Federation's droid army has occupied the peaceful planet, and Queen Amidala returns with the Jedi to liberate her people. In the chaos of battle, young Anakin hides in a starfighter cockpit. It is almost instinctual. He has worked on ships his entire life. He knows every system, every circuit. When the autopilot engages, the fighter lifts off, and suddenly Anakin is in the middle of a space battle. He is terrified. Exhilarated, the same feeling as pod racing but amplified 1,000-fold. Droid starfighters swarm around him firing, and he dodges without thinking. His small hands fly over the controls. ROS 2D2. The astromech droid in the fighter beeps frantically, but Anakin is already moving on pure instinct. He does not aim at the droid control ship. He is trying to escape, to survive, but his fighter is hit, and he spins out of control directly into the ship's hangar bay. Inside the enemy vessel, surrounded by battle droids and chaos, Anakin does the only thing he can think of. He fires. His torpedoes streak down the hangar into the ship's reactor core, and then he is flying again, bursting out of the hangar as the entire ship begins to explode behind him. Across the planet, every battle droid suddenly stops moving, shut down. The invasion is over, because a 9-year-old boy accidentally saved the day. But not everyone survives. In the palace of Naboo, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi face a Sith Lord, Darth Maul, a creature of pure menace with a double-bladed red lightsaber and tattoos covering his face like war paint. The duel is brutal, fast, unforgiving. Qui-Gon fights with the calm of a master, but Maul is younger, faster, fueled by rage. In a hangar bay lit by red laser shields, Maul drives his blade through Qui-Gon's torso. Obi-Wan screams, rushes forward, fights with everything he has, but grief makes him reckless, and Maul disarms him, sends him tumbling into a pit. Obi-Wan hangs there, clinging to a ledge, his lightsaber gone, his master dying meters away, and in that moment of absolute despair, the Force answers him. Qui-Gon's lightsaber flies into his hand, and Obi-Wan launches himself up, spinning, slicing Darth Maul in half in a single stroke. But it is too late for Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan cradles his master's head, and with his dying breath, Qui-Gon makes him promise, "Train the boy. He is the chosen one. He will bring balance. Promise me." And Obi-Wan, tears streaming, promises, "Yes, Master." At Qui-Gon's funeral, they burn his body in the Jedi tradition, flames rising into the Naboo twilight. Anakin stands there, watching another father figure disappear. First, he never had a father. Then Qui-Gon gave him hope, gave him freedom, and now he is gone too. The pattern is already forming, though Anakin does not see it yet. Everyone he loves leaves, one way or another. Master Yoda approaches Obi-Wan with reluctance. The Council has agreed, against their better judgment. Despite their reservations, Obi-Wan Kenobi, newly promoted to Jedi Knight, will take Anakin Skywalker as his Padawan. But Yoda's warning is clear. Clouded, this boy's future is grave danger, I fear, in his training. Obi-Wan is 25 years old. He has just lost his master. He is not ready to train someone, especially not a child with Anakin's potential, but he made a promise, and Jedi do not break their promises, so he takes on the burden, takes on the boy, and tries to be what Qui-Gon was to him. But Obi-Wan is not Qui-Gon. He is more rigid, more traditional. He believes in the Jedi Code, absolutely. Qui-Gon was willing to bend rules, to follow the living force wherever it led. Obi-Wan teaches by the book, and for a boy like Anakin, a boy who has never known structure or discipline, it is suffocating. The years that follow are difficult. Anakin is extraordinarily gifted. He learns faster than any Padawan in recent memory. His connection to the Force is so strong that sometimes it frightens even the Masters. He can move objects with his mind that Padawans twice his age struggle with. His lightsaber technique develops at an astonishing rate. But he is also impulsive, arrogant. He questions everything, challenges authority, pushes boundaries. Obi-Wan tries to instill discipline, patience, but Anakin feels like the Jedi are always holding him back. Why can't I do this, he asks. Why must we wait? Why do the Jedi forbid attachment when attachment is what makes us care about others? Obi-Wan's answer is always the same. Because it is the way, because the code exists for good reason, because attachment leads to fear of loss, and fear is the path to darkness. But for Anakin, the code feels like chains. He was a slave for the first 9 years of his life. Now he is free, but the Jedi have rules about everything. What to feel, what not to feel, how to live, how to think, and the one thing the code forbids most strongly is the one thing Anakin cannot stop doing: loving, missing, yearning. At night, alone in his quarters in the Jedi Temple, he thinks about his mother. She is still on Tatooine, still a slave. He is here, training to be one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, and he cannot save the one person who gave him everything. The guilt gnaws at him, the helplessness, and worse, the nightmares begin. He dreams of his mother, not good dreams, dark ones. He sees her suffering, hears her calling his name, wakes up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat, heart pounding, and he cannot tell if it is just a dream or something more. The Force is trying to tell him something, warn him, but he does not understand yet, and when he mentions the dreams to Obi-Wan, his master tells him to meditate, to let go, to release his fear into the Force. But Anakin cannot let go. He does not know how. Everything he loves, he has lost or is terrified of losing. His father, whoever that might have been, never existed. Qui-Gon died. His mother is still enslaved, and the Jedi tell him not to care too much, not to hold on. But holding on is all he knows how to do. As the years pass, his reputation grows. By the time he is a teenager, other Padawans whisper about him. The chosen one, the boy with no father, the pilot who destroyed a battleship at 9 years old. Some admire him, others resent him. Anakin does not care. He is focused on becoming the best, on proving himself, on being strong enough that he will never be helpless again. Obi-Wan sees the darkness growing in him, but does not know how to stop it. He loves Anakin, truly, like a brother, but he is not good at expressing emotion. The Jedi do not do that. They are serene, controlled. So Obi-Wan teaches technique, strategy, philosophy, but he does not teach Anakin how to deal with the storm inside his own heart, and that storm is growing, gathering strength, waiting for the moment it will be unleashed. By the time Anakin is 19, he is no longer the child who left Tatooine. He is tall, confident, powerful. His skills with a lightsaber rival even some of the Masters. His connection to the Force is deeper than almost anyone in the Order, but so is his anger, his frustration, his fear. The Jedi Council watches him closely. They see the signs, the impatience, the pride, the attachment he refuses to release. Master Yoda expresses his concerns repeatedly, but Obi-Wan defends his Padawan. He is learning, he will grow, he is the chosen one. But the prophecy, as all prophecies, is unclear. Bring balance to the Force. It says, destroy the Sith. But it does not say how, it does not say what the cost will be. It does not say that sometimes to bring balance, you must first tear everything down. And in the shadows, unseen by the Jedi, another force is watching, waiting. The Sith are not gone. They have been hiding, planning, patient, and they have seen what the Jedi refuse to fully acknowledge, that the boy they call the Chosen One, the boy with more potential than any Force user in history, is also the boy with the most fear, the most anger, the most vulnerability. And fear, anger, and vulnerability are the doorways to the dark side. Anakin Skywalker is becoming a legend among the Jedi, but legends have a way of becoming tragedies, and his tragedy is already being written in the spaces between his nightmares and his longing for the mother he could not save. 10 years pass. The galaxy is changing. The Republic, that 1,000-year-old institution of peace and democracy, is fracturing. Entire star systems are seceding, joining a separatist movement led by a former Jedi named Count Dooku. The Senate debates endlessly, while planets burn, and in the midst of this growing chaos, Anakin Skywalker returns to Coruscant after a mission in the Outer Rim. He is 19 now, no longer a boy. His Padawan braid marks him as still in training, but everything else about him radiates confidence bordering on arrogance. He has become exactly what Qui-Gon sensed he could be: powerful, gifted, extraordinary, but also troubled in ways even Obi-Wan cannot fully reach. They are assigned to protect Senator Padme Amidala of Naboo. There have been attempts on her life. Someone wants her dead, and the Jedi are tasked with keeping her safe. When Anakin first sees her again after 10 years, something inside him simply stops. She was a queen when they met. Regal, distant, older. Now she is a senator. Still beautiful, still strong, but human in a way he did not see before. And she sees him, not the child who helped save her planet, a young man, intense, handsome, looking at her with an openness that is both disarming and dangerous. The professional distance they are supposed to maintain dissolves almost immediately. Obi-Wan assigns Anakin to escort Padme back to Naboo, away from Coruscant's dangers, while he investigates the assassination attempts. And from the moment their ship leaves the capital, everything changes. On Naboo, in the lake country where green hills roll down to impossibly blue waters, where the air smells like flowers instead of engine exhaust, Anakin and Padme talk, really talk, about their lives, their dreams, their fears. He tells her about the Jedi Temple, about feeling trapped by rules that make no sense to him, about missing his mother every single day, about the nightmares that will not stop. She tells him about the Senate, about watching the Republic tear itself apart while politicians play games, about the weight of representing billions of people, about loneliness at the top, about wanting something real in a world of carefully crafted appearances. They are young, isolated, drawn to each other in ways neither can fully explain. The Force is pulling them together, though neither realizes it, or perhaps they do, and they simply do not care. Anakin confesses his feelings. "I am haunted by the kiss you should never have given me," he says, awkward and earnest. "My heart is beating, hoping that kiss will not become a scar." Padme tries to resist. "This is impossible," she tells him. "I am a senator. You are a Jedi. Our lives are too different." But even as she says it, her resolve is crumbling, because she feels it too. The connection, the inevitability. But their stolen moments of happiness are shattered by Anakin's nightmares. They intensify. Every night he sees his mother, Shrimmy. She is in pain, terrible pain, calling his name. He wakes gasping, and the dreams do not fade with consciousness. They linger, grow stronger, until finally he cannot take it anymore. "I have to go to Tatooine," he tells Padme. Something is happening to her. I can feel it. And despite every protocol, every rule, she agrees to go with him, because she has fallen for this intense young man who loves so fiercely it frightens her, and because she knows he cannot face this alone. Tatooine has not changed. The twin suns still bake the sand. Mos Espan still stinks of desperation. But when Anakin goes to Watto's shop, he learns his mother is gone. Sold, no, not sold, freed. A moisture farmer named Clygiles bought her freedom and married her. The news should be joyful. His mother is free, but the way Watto says it makes Anakin's blood run cold was, the Toydarian says, she was free. At the Lars homestead, Anakin meets his stepfather, a man whose legs have been cut off at the knee. He meets Owen, his stepbrother, and Beru, Owen's girlfriend, and they tell him what happened. A month ago, Shimi was taken by Tusken raiders. Clive led a group of farmers to rescue her, but the Tuskens slaughtered most of them. Clive barely escaped with his life. Since then, no one has seen her. No one knows if she is alive. But Anakin knows. He can feel her faint, fading, still alive, barely. That night, he takes a speeder bike and rides into the desert. Padme begs him to wait, to bring help, but he cannot. Every second matters. The Force guides him through the darkness, across the dunes, to the Tusken camp. He moves like a shadow, slips past guards, kills the ones he must, until he finds the tent where they are keeping her. Shmi Skywalker is tied to a frame, beaten, starved, barely conscious. When Anakin cuts her down and holds her, her eyes flicker open. She sees him and smiles. A broken, bloody smile. "Annie," she whispers, "my little Annie, you have grown so much, so handsome." He is sobbing. "I am here, Mom. You are safe now. I am going to get you out of here." But she shakes her head slightly. She knows, he knows. "I am so proud of you," she says, her voice failing. "So proud. Now I am complete." And then she dies in his arms. Something inside Anakin Skywalker breaks in that moment. Not bends. Breaks, shatters into pieces that will never fit together again. The rage that pours through him is not human. It is elemental. The Force itself channeling through his grief and becoming destruction. He lays his mother's body down gently, stands, ignites his lightsaber, and walks out of the tent. What happens next is slaughter. Tusken raiders are brutal, yes, savage, but they are also living beings, families, children, and Anakin kills them all. Men, women, children, every single one. He does not fight them, he executes them. Some try to run, he cuts them down. Some beg, he does not hear them. The blue glow of his lightsaber lights up the night, and by the time the sun rises, the camp is silent. Bodies everywhere, blood soaking into the sand. When he returns to the Lars homestead carrying his mother's body, Padme sees something in his eyes that terrifies her. She asks what happened, and he tells her, with no remorse, no hesitation, "I killed them," he says, his voice shaking with anger and tears. "I killed them all. They are like animals, and I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them." She should be horrified. She should run. But instead, she holds him while he breaks apart because she loves him. And love, as the Jedi know, makes you forgive the unforgivable. They bury Shmi in the desert, a simple grave with a marker, and Anakin makes a promise over her grave. "I was not strong enough to save you, Mom, but I will be. I will become so powerful that I will never lose anyone I care about again. Never." It is a promise born of love, but it is also the first step toward damnation. Before they can leave Tatooine, a message comes from Obi-Wan. He has tracked the assassins to a planet called Geonosis, and he has discovered something terrible. The Separatists are building an army, thousands of battle droids, and Count Dooku, the leader of the Separatist movement, is behind everything. But Obi-Wan is captured, and his message is a warning: do not come after me. Anakin and Padme go anyway, because that is what you do for the people you love. You ignore wisdom, you ignore orders, you go. Geonosis is a nightmare of red rock and droid factories. They are captured almost immediately and sentenced to death in the Geonosian execution arena, chained to pillars, facing beasts designed to kill: an Acklay, a Reek, and a Nexu. Creatures from across the galaxy brought here to tear prisoners apart for entertainment. But Anakin is not just any prisoner. Even chained, even unarmed, he is dangerous. When the beasts attack, he uses the Force to control the Reek, rides it, turns it against their captors. Padme picks her chain's lock. Obi-Wan frees himself. And then, just when it seems they might actually die here, lightsabers ignite all around the arena. Mace Windu and 200 Jedi have arrived. The Battle of Geonosis is chaos. Jedi against droids, lightsabers against blasters. And in the midst of it, Anakin and Obi-Wan pursue Count Dooku. The former Jedi Master is trying to escape, and they corner him in a hangar. Dooku is elegant, controlled, older, but when he draws his curved lightsaber, it becomes clear age has not diminished him. He is one of the greatest duelists the Jedi Order ever produced. Anakin charges in recklessly, and Dooku punishes him for it. Force lightning throws him against the wall. Then he turns his attention to Obi-Wan, and their duel is brief, brutal. Dooku wounds Obi-Wan's arm and leg, drops him. Anakin recovers, attacks again. This time with two lightsabers, his own and Obi-Wan's. For a moment he pushes Dooku back with sheer aggression, but aggression is not technique. Dooku is a master. With a single precise cut, he severs Anakin's right arm just below the elbow. The limb and the lightsaber fall together. Anakin collapses, screaming. His first real defeat, his first permanent loss. And as he lies there clutching the stump of his arm, Yoda arrives. The ancient master faces Dooku, and their duel defies physics. Two masters of the Force, moving faster than eyes can follow. But Dooku escapes. The Separatists escape. The war has begun. In a medical facility, they give Anakin a mechanical arm, cybernetic, responsive, almost as good as the real thing. But it is not the real thing. It is metal and circuits where flesh and bone should be. A reminder, a scar, a warning he does not heed. And in a hidden place, away from the war and the Jedi and the chaos, Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala are married, a secret ceremony, just the two of them and the droids. She wears a simple dress. He wears his Jedi robes. They speak vows they can never acknowledge publicly, because she is a senator, he is a Jedi, and their love is forbidden by every rule that governs their lives. But they do not care. In that moment, they are not senator and Jedi. They are just two young people who have found something real in a galaxy tearing itself apart. They are in love, and they believe, naively, beautifully, tragically, that love will be enough. It will not be. Love never is. Not when it is built on secrets. Not when it is tangled with fear. Not when the dark side is already whispering in the spaces between heartbeats, promising power enough to protect what you love, promising that you will never be weak again, never lose anyone again. Anakin has taken his first steps into darkness, killed innocence, embraced rage, lost a part of himself to violence, but he does not see it. He only sees that he was not strong enough to save his mother, and he is determined with every fiber of his being that he will become strong enough to save Padme. No matter what it costs, no matter what he has to do, no matter who he has to become. The Clone Wars have begun. And so has Anakin Skywalker's fall. 3 years. The Clone Wars rage for 3 brutal years, and in that time, Anakin Skywalker becomes a legend, not just among the Jedi, but across the entire Republic. The Holonet broadcasts his victories. Children play at being him. Soldiers tell stories about him in the trenches. He is the hero with no fear, the general who leads from the front, the Jedi who never loses. But legends are built on carefully selected truths and convenient omissions. They do not talk about the nightmares that still wake him. They do not mention the growing darkness in his methods. They certainly do not know about the secret wife he returns to whenever he can steal a few days between battles. The war itself is vast. Thousands of systems, millions of clone troopers engineered on Camino to fight and die for the Republic. Battle droids manufactured by the billions in separatist factories. Entire planets burned. Populations displaced. The Jedi, who were once peacekeepers and diplomats, have become generals, and that transformation costs them more than they realize. Anakin and Obi-Wan fight side by side through much of it. Their partnership is the stuff of legend, the negotiator and the hero. Obi-Wan's precision and patience balancing Anakin's aggression and innovation. Together, they are nearly unstoppable. They break sieges, win impossible battles, rescue hostages from certain death. But their relationship is complicated. Obi-Wan still sees Anakin as the impulsive Padawan who needs guidance. Anakin sees himself as an equal, sometimes even as Obi-Wan's superior. The friction between them is constant, though beneath it runs genuine affection. They are brothers, even when they argue, especially when they argue. Then, early in the war, Anakin is assigned a Padawan of his own. He protests immediately. "I do not want a Padawan," he tells Yoda. "I barely have my own training under control," but Yoda is insistent. "Teach, you must. Learn to let go. You will. Ready or not, here is your student." Her name is Ahsoka Tano. She is 14, a Togruta, with striking facial markings and a confidence that borders on recklessness. Sound familiar? From the moment they meet, they clash. She calls him Sky Guy. He calls her Snips. She questions his orders. He questions her judgment. But beneath the bickering, something unexpected happens. He grows to care about her deeply. She becomes the little sister he never had, the student he never wanted, but cannot imagine his life without. Through Ahsoka, Anakin learns what Obi-Wan was trying to teach him all along. Responsibility, patience, the weight of having someone's life depend on your decisions. He teaches her lightsaber combat, battle tactics, how to think 3 steps ahead, but more than that, he teaches her to trust her instincts, to question authority when it is wrong, to care about the clones under their command, to see them as individuals rather than expendable soldiers. And she teaches him too. She reminds him why the Jedi fight, not for glory, not for power, but to protect those who cannot protect themselves. When he is too aggressive, she pulls him back. When he is too angry, she makes him laugh. She is the light he needs when the darkness starts creeping in. Their campaigns together become legendary. On Christophsis, they hold a city against overwhelming droid forces. On Ryloth, they liberate Twistlays from separatist occupation. They destroy the Malevolence, a massive separatist warship equipped with an iron cannon that can disable entire fleets. Battle after battle, victory after victory. The hero with no fear and his Padawan. But war changes people, slowly, in ways they do not notice until it is too late. Anakin begins to win battles through increasingly aggressive tactics. He takes risks that horrify even Obi-Wan, charges into situations that should get him killed, but somehow do not. And when he fights, there is an edge to him, a fury. He is not just defeating enemies, he is punishing them. The Jedi Council notices. They see him becoming more powerful, yes, but also more volatile. Master Windu expresses concerns. Master Yoda meditates on it, that the war needs heroes, and Anakin delivers victories. So they overlook the warning signs, the times his anger gets the better of him, the moments when his methods cross lines that Jedi should not cross. During the war, Anakin develops a relationship with Chancellor Palpatine that troubles the other Jedi. Palpatine, the Supreme Chancellor of the Republic, takes a special interest in the young hero, invites him to private meetings, asks his opinions on military strategy, treats him with the respect and admiration that Anakin feels the Jedi Council denies him. To Anakin, Palpatine is a friend, a mentor, the father figure Qui-Gon might have been, someone who believes in him without reservation. But Palpatine's attention is not accidental. Every word is calculated, every gesture designed. He subtly undermines Anakin's faith in the Jedi Council, plants seeds of doubt. The Council does not trust you, he says. They fear your power. They hold you back because they are afraid of what you might become. And Anakin, who already feels underappreciated by the Council, hears these words and believes them because part of him has always felt that way. There is a mission during the war that Anakin never fully understands. He, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka are pulled into a region of space called Mortis, a place that exists outside normal reality. There they encounter beings of pure force. The father, ancient and wise, trying to maintain balance between his children. The daughter, embodiment of the light side. The son, seething manifestation of the dark. The son shows Anakin a vision, his future. He sees himself as Darth Vader, sees the mask, the black armor, the death he will cause, sees himself killing Jedi, choking Padme, everything, and the horror of it breaks him. He falls to his knees screaming, but the father, desperate to preserve the balance of his realm, erases Anakin's memory of the vision. When they leave Mortis, Anakin remembers none of it. The warning is lost. The chance to change course, gone. As the war drags on, Anakin is finally knighted. No longer a Padawan, a full Jedi Knight. The ceremony should be a moment of triumph, but it feels hollow, because the Jedi he is becoming is not the Jedi he dreamed of being as a child. He has killed too many people, made too many compromises, and the nightmares, which stopped after his mother died, have started to return. Different now, darker. He dreams of Padme, of losing her, and the fear of those dreams is worse than any battle. Then comes the mission to Umbara, a dark planet where even starlight struggles to penetrate the gloom. Anakin and Ahsoka are assigned to a campaign there, but Anakin is called away before it is finished. He leaves Ahsoka in the command of a Jedi named Pong Krell, and Krell is everything the Jedi should not be. Arrogant Krell. He treats clone troopers as disposable, sends them on suicide missions, and worse, he is secretly working for the Separatists, trying to become Count Dooku's apprentice. When Ahsoka and the clones realize the truth, they arrest Krell, but the experience scars them. These clone troopers, engineered to be loyal, to follow orders without question, chose to disobey a Jedi because he was wrong. And Ahsoka learned a terrible lesson, that the Jedi are not infallible, that the robes and the title do not guarantee wisdom or virtue. The final breaking point comes near the end of the war. Ahsoka is framed for a terrorist bombing of the Jedi Temple. The evidence is overwhelming. The Council, led by Mace Windu and others, believes she is guilty. They expel her from the Order, strip her of her Padawan status, and prepare to hand her over to the Republic military for trial and execution. Anakin is the only one who believes in her innocence. While the entire Jedi Council has abandoned her, while even Obi-Wan counsels patience and trust in the process, Anakin refuses to give up. He investigates, hunts for evidence, pushes boundaries, and he discovers the truth. It was not Ahsoka, it was Barriss Offee, another Padawan, who became disillusioned with the Jedi and their role in the war, who believed the Jedi had lost their way and needed to be exposed. Anakin brings Barriss to justice. Ahsoka is exonerated. The Council, realizing their terrible mistake, invites her back. Master Windu himself apologizes. "We are asking you to return to the Jedi Order," he says. "This was actually your great trial. Now you are ready to become a Jedi Knight." But Ahsoka looks at them, these masters who were ready to let her die rather than trust in her, and she says no. She walks away from the Order, from everything she has trained for her entire life, and Anakin watches her leave, feeling something inside him harden into bitterness. The Council failed her. They failed him. And in that moment, his faith in the Jedi Order, already cracked, fractures beyond repair. The war continues. More battles, more victories. But Anakin is different now. Colder, more ruthless. The line between Jedi and soldier has blurred beyond recognition. He executes prisoners when it is expedient, uses torture when he needs information, justifies it all as necessary for victory, for protecting the Republic, for ending the war. But really he is protecting himself, building walls around the fear that lives inside him, the fear that he will lose everything that matters. Between campaigns, he steals moments with Padme. Their relationship is still secret, still forbidden. But it is also the only thing that feels real to him anymore. When he is with her, he can pretend the war does not exist, pretend he is not becoming someone he does not recognize. She tells him about Senate politics, about how Chancellor Palpatine is accumulating more and more emergency powers, about senators who disappear when they speak too loudly against the Chancellor's policies. She is worried. The Republic is changing into something darker, but Anakin defends Palpatine. He is doing what needs to be done, Anakin says. Someone has to make the hard choices. And Padme looks at him and wonders when the man she married started sounding like a dictator's apologist. The final campaign of the Clone Wars takes them to Coruscant itself. General Grievous, the droid commander of the Separatist armies, launches a daring attack on the capital. They kidnap Chancellor Palpatine, taking him aboard the Invisible Hand, Grievous's flagship. It is a trap, though no one realizes it yet. Palpatine orchestrated his own kidnapping, but the Republic does not know that. They only know their leader is in danger. Anakin and Obi-Wan lead the rescue mission. They fight their way through hordes of battle droids, face off against Grievous himself, though the cyborg general escapes. And finally, they reach Palpatine in the observation deck, where Count Dooku is waiting for them. Dooku is confident. He defeated them before, took Anakin's arm, nearly killed Obi-Wan. But 3 years have passed. Anakin is no longer the impulsive Padawan who charged in recklessly. He is a seasoned warrior, a general, and he is angry, so angry. The duel is fierce. Dooku's elegant style against Anakin's aggressive power. Obi-Wan joins in, but Dooku uses the Force to choke him unconscious, suspend him in midair. Now it is just Anakin and Dooku, master duelist against raw fury, and this time fury wins. Anakin batters through Dooku's defenses, disarms him, literally. With 2 swift cuts, he severs both of Dooku's hands at the wrists. The Count falls to his knees, defenseless. And Palpatine, still pretending to be a helpless prisoner, leans forward. "Kill him," the Chancellor says. "Kill him now." Anakin hesitates. His lightsabers are crossed at Dooku's neck. The Count is unarmed, helpless. "I should not," Anakin says. "It is not the Jedi way." But Palpatine's voice is insistent. "Do it. He is too dangerous to be left alive." And Anakin, after everything he has seen, everything he has done, tells himself this is just one more necessary evil, one more hard choice. He brings both blades together. Dooku's head falls. And for the first time, Anakin has murdered an unarmed prisoner in cold blood, not in the heat of battle, not in rage, but as a deliberate choice. The guilt hits him immediately. "I should not have done that," he says. "It is not the Jedi way." Palpatine, playing his role perfectly, comforts him. "It is only natural. He killed your mother. He tried to kill you. You wanted revenge." And Anakin, desperate for absolution, accepts the justification. But deep down, he knows the truth. He chose darkness, and it felt easy. They escape the ship as it crashes toward Coruscant, a barely controlled descent that tears the massive vessel apart. Anakin pilots them down through fire and debris, lands half a ship on a runway, and somehow everyone survives. The Republic celebrates. The hero with no fear has saved the Chancellor. The tide of the war is turning. But the war has taken something from Anakin that he can never get back. The part of him that believed in absolutes, that knew right from wrong, that trusted the Jedi. All of it is gone now, replaced by pragmatism, by the belief that the ends justify the means, by the certainty that power is what matters, because power is what keeps the people you love safe. And the dark side, patient and subtle, whispers to him in the quiet moments. You are right to trust your feelings. The Jedi suppress emotion, but emotion gives you strength. Love gives you something to fight for. Fear keeps you vigilant. Anger makes you powerful. All these things the Jedi say are wrong. They are actually what make you strong. He does not realize these are not his thoughts, not entirely, that something has been shaping him, guiding him, pushing him toward this moment for years, since he was 9 years old and Palpatine first saw him, since the visions on Mortis that were erased, since Ahsoka left and his faith cracked, since his mother died and he slaughtered a village. Every moment has been leading here, to the edge of a precipice, where one more push, one more fear, one more loss will send him falling into an abyss from which there is no return. And that push is coming, soon, in the form of the one thing he cannot bear to lose, the one person he loves more than anything, more than the Jedi, more than the Republic, more than his own soul. Padme Amidala, his wife, his secret, his whole world, and she is about to become his downfall. When Anakin returns to Coruscant after rescuing the Chancellor, Padme is waiting for him on the landing platform. The reunion is brief, stolen, but profound. They have not seen each other in months. That night, in their secret apartment overlooking the cityscape, she tells him, "Anakin, I am pregnant." For a moment his face is pure joy. Then reality crashes in. The fear, the impossibility. "This is wonderful," he says, but his voice trembles. "What are we going to do?" Padme tries to be optimistic, but Anakin's mind is already racing ahead to all the ways this could go wrong. That night he dreams, not vague nightmares, but something specific and terrible. He sees Padme pregnant, in pain, dying, gasping for breath, calling his name, and he is helpless. Just like with his mother, he wakes in a cold sweat. It was not just a dream, it was a vision, and after ignoring the warnings about his mother until it was too late, he cannot dismiss this. The next morning he goes to Yoda, tells him about the visions, careful not to reveal who. Someone close to him will die. What should he do? Yoda's answer is the worst possible for Anakin Skywalker. Death is a natural part of life. Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Let go. The one thing Anakin cannot do. His entire life has been about holding on, crawling, fighting, loss. He leaves feeling more alone than ever. The Jedi cannot help him, will not help him. He needs something more. Power that can stop death itself. He throws himself into research. The Jedi archives have nothing. Anything related to preventing death to the dark side has been removed or restricted. The Jedi fear such knowledge. Meanwhile, the Council assigns him a task that feels like betrayal. They want him to spy on Chancellor Palpatine. The Senate has granted the Chancellor extensive emergency powers, and the Council suspects he may not relinquish control once the war ends. They need someone close to him, Anakin. Then comes the ceremony. Palpatine appoints Anakin as his personal representative on the Jedi Council, an unprecedented honor. But when he arrives to take his seat, Master Windu delivers the blow. You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of Master. The humiliation burns. What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It is unfair. Windu's response is cold. Take a seat, young Skywalker. And Anakin sits, seething. His faith in the Council already cracked fractures beyond repair. That evening, he attends the opera with Palpatine. Neither is really watching. Palpatine speaks softly about power. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Anakin shakes his head. I thought not. It is not a story the Jedi would tell you. It is a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. He had such knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. Anakin's attention sharpens. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. What happened to him? Palpatine's expression becomes regretful. He became so powerful, the only thing he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew, then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Then, almost as an afterthought, is it possible to learn this power? Not from a Jedi. The seed is planted deep. The Sith knew how to prevent death. The Jedi either do not know or refuse to teach it, and Padme is going to die unless he finds a way to save her. Days pass. The war reaches its endgame. Obi-Wan is sent to hunt General Grievous. Yoda goes to Kashyyyk. The Jedi scatter across the galaxy, and Anakin remains on Coruscant, close to Palpatine. Then everything shatters in a single afternoon. Palpatine drops the mask entirely. Ever since I have known you, you have been searching for a life greater than that of an ordinary Jedi. I am going to save you from the Jedi. I am going to save Padme. Anakin ignites his lightsaber. You are the Sith Lord. Palpatine does not deny it. Use my knowledge, I beg you. Anakin's voice breaks. I am going to turn you over to the Jedi Council. Of course you should. But you are not sure of their intentions, are you? Know the power of the dark side. The power to save Padme. Anakin makes the right choice. He leaves, goes straight to Mace Windu. I know who the Sith Lord is. Chancellor Palpatine is Darth Sidious. Windu summons Kit Fisto, Agen Kola, and Sai Tin. 4 masters to arrest the most powerful Sith in 1,000 years. Anakin asks to go with them. No, Windu says. If what you have told us is true, you will have earned my trust. But for now, remain here. Wait in the council chambers. And they leave. Anakin waits. Alone, he has done the right thing. Chosen the Jedi. But Palpatine's words echo. The power to save Padme. Not from a Jedi. Every second he sits there, his resolve crumbles. What if Palpatine dies before telling him how to save her? What if this was his only chance? He tries to meditate, cannot. The vision of Padme dying plays over and over. He cannot live through that again. He stands, takes a speeder toward the Senate building, just to make sure they take Palpatine alive, just to observe, not to interfere. But the dark side knows better. Every piece has been carefully placed, every fear carefully nurtured. every crack carefully widened. And now, as Anakin races toward his destiny, the trap is about to spring shut. The point of no return is not a place. It is a moment, a single choice. And Anakin is about to make the choice that will doom the galaxy to decades of darkness. The Senate office is deceptively calm when the Jedi arrive. Palpatine sits at his desk, the image of a weary leader. But when Mace Windu and the three masters enter, lightsabers ignited, the pretense evaporates. In the name of the Galactic Senate, you are under arrest, Chancellor. Palpatine turns slowly, his face different now. The kindly mentor gone. Are you threatening me, Master Jedi? The Senate will decide your fate. I am the Senate. Not yet. It is treason, then. In a blur almost too fast to see, he draws a lightsaber. The crimson blade ignites, and he launches himself at the Jedi with an inhuman scream. Ajan Kola dies in seconds, blade through his chest. Teen falls next, throat cut. Kit Fisto lasts perhaps 10 seconds longer. 3 Jedi Masters dead in less than 20 seconds. Only Mace Windu remains, and Mace is the master of the Order, creator of Vapid, a form that channels darkness without succumbing. Their blades crash together, moving from office to landing platform. Rain begins to fall, lightning splits the sky, and slowly, impossibly, Mace begins to win. Palpatine's attacks become desperate. Mace disarms him, sends the lightsaber spinning into the rain. The Dark Lord stumbles backward, suddenly looking old. You have lost. Palpatine raises his hands. No, you will die. Force lightning erupts, blue-white energy crackling. Mace catches it on his blade, reflecting it. Palpatine's face begins to twist, to melt. His skin turns gray, eyes yellow, the mask burning away to reveal the monster. That is when Anakin arrives, bursts through the door, sees Mace standing over Palpatine, blade raised, the Chancellor cowering, disfigured. You are under arrest, my lord. Anakin shouts. You cannot. He must stand trial. He is too dangerous to be left alive, Mace responds. He has control of the Senate and the courts. Palpatine gasps. I am too weak. Do not kill me, please. I need him, Anakin says, desperation naked in his voice. He will help me save Padme. Mace does not understand. Cannot. I am going to end this. His blade rises for the killing stroke. No. Anakin screams. His lightsaber ignites. In a single fluid motion, he slashes. The violet blade cuts through Mace's wrist. The hand falls, severed. Mace stumbles backward in shock. Power. Palpatine shrieks. Force lightning erupts, unrestrained. It strikes Mace full in the chest, hurling him through the window. Mace Windu falls screaming into the Coruscant night. Silence. Rain. Anakin stands frozen, staring at his hand. What have I done? The horror is absolute. He has just helped murder a Jedi Master, but Palpatine is already moving. You are fulfilling your destiny, Anakin. Become my apprentice. Learn to use the dark side. I will do whatever you ask, Anakin says. Hollow, empty. Just help me save Padme's life. I cannot live without her. Palpatine places a hand on his head. Good. The Force is strong with you. Henceforth you shall be known as Darth Vader. The first command comes immediately. Go to the Jedi Temple. Do what must be done. Do not hesitate. Show no mercy. Only then will you be strong enough to save Padme, and Vader accepts. He will do anything, kill anyone, for the promise of saving her. He takes the 501st Legion, his troops, men who trust him absolutely. Together they march on the Jedi Temple. The doors open. Jedi inside see Anakin and assume protection. But when the clones raise blasters and fire, the truth becomes clear. This is extermination. Vader ignites his lightsaber, cuts down knights in the halls they trained in, masters in meditation chambers. The 501st is merciless, efficient, and the worst happens in the council tower. Younglings hide there, children. When the door opens and they see Anakin Skywalker, they feel relief. Master Skywalker, a small boy, says, "There are too many of them. What are we going to do?" Vader ignites his blade. The children's faces turn from hope to horror. The security recordings capture the blue light flickering, the silence that follows. Vader emerges, robes stained with blood, not his own. Across the galaxy, the same horror unfolds. Clone troopers turn on their Jedi generals. Order 66. Obi-Wan barely survives on Utapau. Yoda senses thousands of lights winking out in the Force. The Great Jedi Purge. The end of an age. Vader receives his second command. Go to Mustafar. The Separatist Council is hiding there. Wipe them out. All of them. He obeys, flies to that volcanic nightmare, walks into their council chamber. Newt Gunray looks at him with relief. The war is over. Lord Sidious promised us peace. A blue blade through his chest cuts the words short. Vader moves through them like death itself. Within minutes, every Separatist leader is dead. The droid armies shut down. The Clone Wars are over, but the cost is everything. On Mustafar, standing among bodies, Vader finally stops, and something stirs. A tiny voice. What have I done? But it is too quiet, drowned out by lava and darkness and Palpatine's promises. He does not know yet that Padme is already doomed, that his actions to save her are killing her. He will learn soon, in the most painful way possible. Able, happens in the council tower. A group of younglings, children being trained in the ways of the Force, hide there. They hear the blaster fire, the screams, the sound of lightsabers cutting through their teachers, and when the door opens and they see Anakin Skywalker, the hero with no fear, the legendary general they have heard stories about, they feel relief. Master Skywalker, one of them says, a small boy no more than 6 years old, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? And Vader, looking at these children through eyes that no longer see innocence, only obstacles, ignites his lightsaber. The children's faces turn from hope to horror in the span of a heartbeat. What happens next is not shown, cannot be shown. But the security recordings capture the blue light flickering in that room, capture the silence that follows. And when Vader emerges, his robes are stained with blood that is not his own. He has crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. Done something so monstrous that even the dark side seems to recoil. But he does not stop, cannot stop. Because stopping means confronting what he has become, means acknowledging that he is murdering children, murdering the very people he once fought beside, murdering everything he once stood for. So he pushes forward, kills everyone in the temple, every Jedi he can find, until the halls run red and the great beacon of light that has stood for 1,000 years is extinguished. Across the galaxy, the same horror unfolds. Clone troopers, activated by Palpatine's hidden protocol, turn on their Jedi generals. On Utapau, Obi-Wan barely survives, his own troops firing on him. On Kashyyyk, Yoda senses the deaths of Jedi across the galaxy, feels thousands of lights winking out in the Force. On Megiddo, on Felucia, on Cato Nemoidia, everywhere, the Jedi are betrayed and slaughtered by the men they trusted. The Great Jedi Purge. Order 66. The end of an age. Vader stands in the empty council chambers surrounded by bodies and receives his second command. Go to the Mustafar system. The Separatist Council is hiding there. Wipe them out, all of them. And once more, without hesitation, Vader obeys, because if he stops, If he thinks, if he allows himself to feel the weight of what he has done, he will shatter completely. He takes a ship, flies to Mustafar, that volcanic nightmare where the lava flows like rivers and the air itself burns. The separatist leaders are there, hiding in a fortress, believing they are safe, believing the war is nearly over, that soon they will be rewarded for their service. But Palpatine has no more use for them. They are loose ends, witnesses, and Vader is the instrument of their ending. He walks into their council chamber, and Newt Gunray, the viceroy who started this entire war, looks at him with relief. The war is over. Lord Sidious promised us peace. We only want. His words are cut short by a blue blade through his chest, and then Vader moves through them like death itself. They try to run, try to hide, try to beg. None of it matters. Within minutes, every separatist leader is dead. The droid armies across the galaxy receive shutdown commands. Millions of battle droids go silent simultaneously. The Clone Wars are over. The Republic has won. But the cost is everything. The Jedi are destroyed. Democracy is about to die. And Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one who was supposed to bring balance to the Force, has become the instrument of its greatest imbalance. On Mustafar, standing among the bodies of the separatists, Vader finally stops moving, and in that moment of stillness something stirs, a tiny voice, a whisper of who he used to be. What have I done? What have I become? But it is too quiet, too weak, drowned out by the roar of lava and the dark side, and Palpatine's voice promising that all of this, all of it, is to save Padme. He does not know yet that she is already doomed, that the very actions he is taking to save her are killing her, that sometimes the things we do out of love become the things that destroy what we love most. He will learn, soon, in the most painful way possible. But for now he stands in the fire and ash of Mustafar, and he waits for orders, waits to be told what to do next, because he is no longer a person with agency. He is a tool, an extension of Palpatine's will, a weapon aimed at the galaxy. Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, betrayer of the Jedi, murderer of children, and still, somehow, desperately trying to convince himself that he is doing this for love, that when Padme sees what he has become, what he has sacrificed, she will understand, she will forgive him. They will be together, safe, their child, safe. But love built on murder is not love at all. It is obsession, possession. The very attachment the Jedi warned against, twisted into something dark and terrible. And the person he loves most is about to look at him with horror and heartbreak and realize that the man she married is gone, replaced by a monster wearing his face. The final act of this tragedy is about to begin. And unlike the stories Anakin loved as a child, this one will not have a happy ending, not for a very, very long time. On Coruscant, Palpatine declares the birth of the Galactic Empire before the Senate. Democracy dies with thunderous applause, but Padme's mind is on Anakin. She has not heard from him. Reports flood in about the temple burning, Jedi killed across the galaxy. Then finally, a message: meet me on Mustafar. Just coordinates, nothing else. She takes her ship and flies toward the volcanic system. Good 3PO accompanies her, and hidden aboard, unknown to Padme, is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He survived Order 66, watched the security recordings, saw what Anakin did. Now he follows Padme, desperate to find his former apprentice. Mustafar is a nightmare of lava rivers and toxic gases. In the Separatist fortress, Vader waits. When Padme's ship descends, something in him almost feels human. She came. She will understand. Padme runs to him, holds him. Thank goodness you are all right. But something is wrong. His eyes are different, harder, blood on his robes. Obi-Wan told me terrible things, that you turned to the dark side, that you killed younglings. Vader's response is not denial. Obi-Wan is trying to turn you against me. She shakes her head. I do not believe him. I cannot. He begins telling her his vision, his plan. I have become more powerful than any Jedi. I did it for you, to protect you. What have you done? She whispers. Come away with me. Help me raise our child. Leave everything behind. But Vader is not hearing her. We do not have to run anymore. I have brought peace to the Republic. I can overthrow the Chancellor. Together we can rule the galaxy. The words hit Padme like blows. I do not know you anymore. You are breaking my heart. You are going down a path I cannot follow. Because of Obi-Wan, you are with him. You brought him here to kill me. That is when Obi-Wan emerges from the ship. Vader's rage ignites. You turned her against me. You have done that yourself. Obi-Wan replies, grief in his voice. You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind. Vader raises his hand. Padme lifts off the ground, choking, gasping. No, Anakin, no, let her go, Obi-Wan shouts. Vader releases her. She falls unconscious. If you are not with me, Vader says, then you are my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try. Their lightsabers ignite. The duel is not just a fight. It is years of history in violence. Blue against blue, master against apprentice, brother against brother. They battle through the facility, across catwalks over lava, through collapsing structures. I have failed you, Anakin. Obi-Wan says, I should have known the Jedi were planning to take over. Vader spits back. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Then you are lost. They fight onto collection platforms above lava. Vader cuts through processing droids without slowing. The platform collapses. They leap to machinery, riding it down the lava river. Blades still clashing, the heat unbearable. This is the end for you, my master. But Obi-Wan knows every move, every technique. He raised this boy, and he knows Vader lacks discipline now. Their platforms crash. They reach solid ground, continue fighting, up structures, through doorways. The facility tears itself apart around them. Finally, Obi-Wan reaches higher ground, a tactical advantage. It is over, Anakin. I have the high ground. It is both warning and plea. Stop, you have lost. But Vader's arrogance surges. You underestimate my power. Do not try it. Vader gathers the Force, launches himself in a spinning leap. A move Obi-Wan has seen 1,000 times, knows exactly how to counter. The strike is clean, precise, both legs severed, the remaining arm cut off. Vader tumbles onto black sand meters from lava. He is still alive. Tries to push himself up with an arm no longer there, falls. The pain comes, screaming. His robes catch fire from radiant heat, skin blistering, and he screams, not words, pure agony. Obi-Wan approaches, crying, You were the chosen one. It was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them. I hate you, Vader screams. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Obi-Wan cannot say more, cannot watch. He picks up Anakin's lightsaber and turns away, leaves him burning on the shore. Far above, on Polis Massa, Padme is dying. The medical droids cannot explain it. Physically healthy, the baby's healthy, twins, but she is losing the will to live. Her heart is broken. Obi-Wan is there when she gives birth. Luke first, then Leia, healthy, crying, alive. Padme holds them both. Luke, Leia, but the light is fading. We are losing her. Obi-Wan leans close. You have to stay for your children. But Padme looks past him. Obi-Wan, she whispers, there is good in him. I know there is still. the sentence unfinished. Padme Amidala closes her eyes and dies. On Mustafar, Palpatine's shuttle lands. He finds Vader barely alive, burned beyond recognition, limbs gone, but breathing, clinging to life through hatred and the dark side. Medical droids begin emergency procedures. They take him to Coruscant. The surgery takes hours. Cybernetic legs, cybernetic arms, but the lungs are destroyed. So they install a respirator. Black armor designed as life support and prison. The suit keeps him alive, but in constant pain. Palpatine's final cruelty. The mask lowers last, seals onto burned flesh, and with it comes the sound that will haunt the galaxy. The mechanical breathing, in and out. Lord Vader, Palpatine's voice cuts through. "Can you hear me?" "Yes, Master." "Where is Padme? Is she safe? Is she all right?" Palpatine hesitates, almost smiles. "It seems in your anger you killed her." The words do not make sense. He was saving her. Everything was to save her. She died. It appears you killed her. The truth crashes down. The vision he tried to prevent, he caused it. His rage, his force choke. He killed the one person he was trying to save. The scream that follows is inhuman, agony through the force. The operating table bends, equipment explodes, droids crushed, walls crack. When the rage subsides, Vader stands, his first steps in armor, heavy, mechanical. Each movement a reminder of what he lost. His limbs, his face, his wife, his children, dead with her, as far as he knows, everything gone. And for what? But it is too late for regret. The man he was is dead, burned away, suffocated under this mask. All that remains is Vader, and Vader has nothing left except service to his master, except hatred. On Naboo, they hold Padme's funeral. She lies in state, belly still appearing pregnant to hide the twins. The planet mourns. Bail Organa takes Leia to Alderaan, raises her as his daughter, a princess. Obi-Wan takes Luke to Tatooine, to Owen and Beru Lars. They agree to raise him, hide him, keep him safe. Obi-Wan stays nearby, a hermit in the desert, watching, waiting, hoping that perhaps one day this child might be the hope the galaxy needs. Because Anakin Skywalker is dead, killed by Darth Vader, and Vader is what Palpatine made him. A weapon, the Emperor's enforcer. The galaxy enters darkness. The Jedi gone, democracy dead, and the man who was supposed to save everyone has become the instrument of their oppression. Twin suns set over Tatooine. Owen and Beru hold baby Luke, and somewhere on Coruscant, Darth Vader takes his first steps into a life that will span decades, a life of pain, of service, of hunting the last Jedi. The tragedy is complete, the fall absolute. Anakin Skywalker is no more, only Vader remains. And Vader will not know peace, will not know love, will not know anything but endless mechanical breathing and the weight of what he has lost. For 23 years, he will be this, a monster, a myth, a warning. But stories do not end, they transform. And though Anakin is dead, something of him survives, hidden in two children who will grow up never knowing their father, never knowing the most feared being in the galaxy shares their blood. The dark times have begun, but the light of hope, fragile and hidden, still burns, waiting for the day it will shine again. The duel that follows is not just a fight, it is a conversation in violence. Every strike carries years of history. Every parry holds questions that cannot be answered with words. Blue blade against blue blade, master against apprentice, brother against brother. They fight through the control room of the facility, across catwalks suspended over rivers of lava, through collapsing structures, as the heat destabilizes everything. Obi-Wan fights defensively. His style Sorisu is built on patience, outlasting your opponent, waiting for them to make a mistake. But Vader attacks with unrestrained aggression, every strike meant to kill, to punish, to destroy. He is stronger now, faster. The dark side has amplified his power beyond what Obi-Wan remembers, but it has also made him reckless, predictable in his fury. "I have failed you, Anakin," Obi-Wan says as their blades lock. "I have failed you." The words are not strategy. They are truth, pain given voice. "I should have known the Jedi were planning to take over," Vader spits back. "From my point of view, the Jedi are evil," and Obi-Wan, hearing the madness in those words, can only respond, "Well then, you are lost." They fight out onto a collection platform hovering above the lava. Droids are still active here, moving ore, processing materials, unaware that the war has ended. Vader cuts through them without slowing. His focus is absolute, total. He will kill Obi-Wan. Prove he is the master now. Prove he was right to choose power over weakness. But Obi-Wan has trained him, knows every move, every technique. He has fought beside Anakin for over a decade, watched him grow from a child to a man to this, and he knows that for all of Vader's power, he lacks discipline, now control. The dark side makes you strong but also blind. The platform they are on begins to collapse. They leap to a droid, then another, riding them down the lava river like surfboards on a wave of fire. Blades still clashing, still dancing. The heat is unbearable. The air is poison, but neither stops, neither can. "This is the end for you, my master," Vader shouts over the roar of the lava, and Obi-Wan, his heart already broken beyond repair, thinks about all the years, about the boy he raised, the brother he loved, the promise he made to Qui-Gon to train him, all of it ending here, in fire, in hatred, in a fate worse than death. Their droid platforms crash into a riverbank. They leap to solid ground, and the duel continues, up a structure, across beams, through doorways. The facility is coming apart around them. Lava breaches walls, steel melts, and still they fight. Obi-Wan is tiring. He is older, has been through so much, but he cannot give up, because somewhere inside this monster is still the boy who called him master, who learned from him, who saved his life a dozen times. Finally, Obi-Wan reaches a slope of black sand and rock, higher ground. A tactical advantage. He stands there, his blade steady, and calls out, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground." It is both a warning and a plea. "Stop. Do not do this. You have lost. Walk away." But Vader's arrogance, that fatal flaw that has always been his weakness, surges. "You underestimate my power," he shouts back. And Obi-Wan, seeing what is about to happen, makes one last desperate attempt. Do not try it. But Vader is beyond warnings, beyond reason. He gathers the force around him, launches himself into a spinning leap meant to carry him over Obi-Wan's head. A move Obi-Wan has seen him practice 1,000 times. A move he knows exactly how to counter. The strike is clean, precise. One cut with the lightsaber as Vader is in midair, both legs severed just above the knees, the remaining arm cut off at the elbow, and Vader's momentum carries him past Obi-Wan onto the black sand, tumbling, rolling, coming to a stop just meters from the lava. He is still alive, still conscious. The shock has not hit yet. He tries to push himself up with the arm that is no longer there, falls, tries again, and then the pain comes, screaming, all-consuming. His robes catch fire from the radiant heat. His skin begins to blister and burn, and he screams, not words, just pure agony. Obi-Wan approaches slowly, looks down at what remains of Anakin Skywalker. He is crying, tears running down his face. "You were the chosen one," he says, his voice thick with grief. "It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness." "I hate you," Vader screams. And those words, filled with such venom, such absolute rage, are somehow worse than anything that came before. Because hate is all that is left. All that remains of the boy who once loved Obi-Wan like a father, like a brother. "You were my brother, Anakin," Obi-Wan says. "I loved you." And he cannot say anymore. Cannot watch this. He picks up Anakin's lightsaber from where it fell. The weapon he built, the blade he used to save so many, to kill so many. And Obi-Wan turns away, leaves Vader burning on the shore. Cannot kill him, cannot save him, can only walk away while his former apprentice screams his hatred at the uncaring sky. Far above Mustafar, on a medical facility orbiting Polis Massa, Padme is dying. The medical droids cannot explain it. Physically, she is healthy. The baby is healthy. Babies, actually, twins. But she is losing the will to live. Medically, it makes no sense. But the Force knows what the droids do not. Her heart is broken, literally. The man she loved, the father of her children, has become a monster, has tried to kill her, has destroyed everything they built together, and she cannot survive that knowledge. Obi-Wan is there when she gives birth. Luke comes first, a boy, healthy, crying. Then Leia, a girl, just as healthy, just as alive. Padme holds them both, and for a moment there is joy in her eyes. "Luke," she whispers, "Leia," but the light is fading. The medical droids are frantic. "We are losing her. She is dying." Obi-Wan leans close. "You have to stay," he says, "for your children, for Luke and Leia." But Padme is looking past him, looking at something only she can see. "Obi-Wan," she whispers, "there is good in him. I know there is still." And the sentence remains unfinished, because Padme Amidala closes her eyes and dies. The medical droids confirm it. "We have lost her, cause of death, unknown. She has simply chosen to stop fighting, to let go, to escape a galaxy that has taken everything from her." On Mustafar, Emperor Palpatine's shuttle lands. The Dark Lord emerges and finds Vader still alive, barely burned beyond recognition, his flesh charred, his limbs gone, but still breathing, still clinging to life through sheer hatred and the dark side. Palpatine gestures, and medical droids move forward, begin emergency procedures, stabilizing, transporting, taking what remains to a surgical facility on Coruscant. The surgery takes hours. They attach cybernetic legs, a cybernetic arm to replace the one Dooku took and the one Obi-Wan severed, but the lungs are destroyed, the respiratory system damaged beyond repair, so they install a breathing apparatus, a respirator built into armor, black armor designed to be a life support system and a prison all at once. The suit keeps him alive, but also keeps him in constant pain. Palpatine's final cruelty, ensuring his apprentice can never be strong enough to challenge him. The mask lowers last, seals onto the burned ruins of Anakin's face, and with it comes the sound that will haunt the galaxy for decades. The mechanical breathing, in, out, in, out, in, out. The rhythm of a machine keeping a broken man alive. Consciousness returns slowly. Vader wakes on an operating table, surrounded by droids, encased in armor. He tries to move and feels the limitations immediately. The weight, the restriction, everything filtered through machinery now. Even breath, especially breath. Lord Vader, Palpatine's voice cuts through the haze. "Can you hear me?" "Yes, Master," Vader replies, and even his voice is different, deeper, mechanized, filtered through the mask. The first question, the only question that matters. Where is Padme? Is she safe? Is she all right? For a moment Palpatine hesitates, almost smiles, then delivers the final crushing blow. It seems in your anger, you killed her. The words do not make sense at first. Vader's mind rejects them. No, he was saving her. Everything was to save her, but Palpatine continues, relentless. She died. It appears in your anger you killed her, and the truth of it, the terrible irony, crashes down. The vision he tried to prevent, the death he sacrificed everything to avoid, he caused it. His rage, his forced choke on Mustafa, he killed the one person he was trying to save. The scream that follows is not human, it is agony given voice. Pure loss channeled through the Force. The operating table bends, medical equipment explodes, droids are crushed by invisible pressure, the walls crack, and Darth Vader, in his first moments of truly understanding what he has become, destroys everything around him. Because destroying the outside is easier than facing the destruction inside. When the rage subsides, when the room is wrecked and smoking, Vader stands, his first steps in the armor, heavy, mechanical, each movement a reminder of what he has lost, his limbs, his face, his wife, his children, dead with her as far as he knows, everything gone. And for what? For power, for Palpatine's lies, for fear of a future he himself created. But it is too late for regret, too late for redemption. The man he was is dead, burned away on Mustafar, suffocated under this mask. All that remains is Vader, and Vader has nothing left to live for, except service to his master, except the dark side, except the hatred that keeps him moving when everything else says to lie down and die. On Naboo, they hold a funeral for Padme. She lies in state, dressed in beautiful robes, her belly still appearing pregnant to hide the truth of the twins. The entire planet mourns. She was their queen once, their senator, their hope, and now she is gone. Killed, the official story says, by the Jedi Rebellion, another victim of the war. Bail Organa takes Leia to Alderaan, raises her as his own daughter, a princess of a peaceful world. Obi-Wan takes Luke to Tatooine, to Owen and Beru Lars, the family Anakin left behind. They agree to raise the boy, to hide him, to keep him safe from the Empire, from his father, and Obi-Wan stays nearby, a hermit in the desert, watching over the boy, waiting, hoping that perhaps one day this child might be the hope the galaxy needs. Because Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, is dead, killed by Darth Vader, and Vader is exactly what Palpatine has made him to be, a weapon, a tool of fear, the Emperor's enforcer. The galaxy enters an age of darkness. The Jedi are gone. Democracy is dead. And the man who was supposed to save everyone has become the instrument of their oppression. Twin suns set over Tatooine, Owen and Beru stand holding a baby boy. Luke Skywalker, the son of Anakin, the grandson of the Force itself, and somewhere in a facility on Coruscant, Darth Vader takes his first steps into a life that will span decades, a life of pain, of service, of hunting the last Jedi, of enforcing the Emperor's will across a galaxy that once celebrated him as a hero. The tragedy is complete. The fall is absolute. Anakin Skywalker is no more, only Vader remains, and Vader will not know peace, will not know love, will not know anything but the endless mechanical breathing and the weight of what he has lost. For 23 years, he will be this, a monster, a myth, a warning of what happens when fear conquers love, when power becomes more important than people, when the Chosen One chooses wrong. But stories do not end. They transform, evolve, and though Anakin is dead, something of him survives, hidden in the DNA of two children who will grow up never knowing their father, never knowing what he became, never knowing that the most feared being in the galaxy shares their blood. The dark times have begun, but in darkness, even the smallest light can matter, and the light of hope, fragile and hidden, still burns, waiting for the day it will shine again. 19 years pass, 19 years of darkness, pain, and service. Darth Vader becomes the most feared being in the galaxy. His name alone brings terror. His arrival means death, the black armor, the mechanical breathing, the crimson lightsaber cutting through anyone who opposes the Empire. The Great Jedi Purge consumes his early years. Surviving Jedi scatter across the Outer Rim, hiding on forgotten worlds. But Vader hunts them relentlessly. Former masters, council members, Padawans who escaped Order 66. Each one he finds, he kills. No mercy, no hesitation. Every death buries Anakin Skywalker deeper beneath the armor. On Mustafar, he builds a castle, a fortress of black stone rising from the lava fields where he died and was reborn. Inside is a meditation chamber, a Bacta tank where he spends hours submerged, the only relief from constant burning pain. The suit was designed to torture him, to keep him powerful but never powerful enough to challenge Palpatine. Every breath reminds him of his failures. Every step is agony masked by machinery. His relationship with the Emperor is twisted, master and broken apprentice. Palpatine manipulates him constantly, reminding him of Padme's death, of his weakness, of how much he has lost. Vader secretly dreams of overthrowing him, but without hope, without purpose, beyond revenge, he remains loyal. Because what else is there? The Empire expands. Planets that resist are crushed. Populations that rebel are made examples. And Vader is the instrument of that terror. Imperial officers fear him more than enemy fire. He does not tolerate failure. Admirals who lose battles are strangled by invisible hands. Captains who question orders die mid-sentence. The Force choke becomes his signature. Swift, final, absolute. But beneath the monster, something human occasionally surfaces. When he meditates, fragments of memory slip through. Padme's smile, Obi-Wan's lessons, his mother's voice, Ahsoka's laugh. He crushes these memories immediately, buries them under hatred. Because remembering hurts worse than the suit ever could. Years blur into decades. The Jedi are nearly extinct. The Republic is a forgotten dream. Democracy is dead. And Vader is exactly what the Emperor made him. A weapon without a soul. A warning of what happens when you defy the Empire. Then, in the 19th year of his service, something changes. Seeds of rebellion begin sprouting. Small at first, isolated cells. Sabotage, stolen supplies, nothing the Empire cannot handle, but it grows, organizes, becomes dangerous. And when rebels steal the Death Star plans from Scarif, Vader is sent to retrieve them. He arrives too late. The plans have been transmitted to a rebel ship, the Tantive 4, fleeing into hyperspace, but Vader pursues, catches them above Tatooine. Boards the vessel with stormtroopers. The rebels barricade themselves behind a sealed door, desperate, terrified. The door explodes inward. Smoke fills the corridor, and through it, lit by emergency lighting, Vader appears. His crimson blade ignites. The rebels open fire, blaster bolts streak toward him. He deflects them effortlessly, advances. One rebel dies, then another. Then 3 more. They are not fighting a man. They are fighting inevitability. Within seconds, the corridor is filled with bodies, but the plans have already been loaded into an astromech droid, RAW-2D2, and that droid is aboard an escape pod launching toward the desert planet below. Vader watches it go, knows the plans escaped. Another failure. But this failure will change everything. Because on that desert world, living with moisture farmers, is a boy named Luke Skywalker. Vader does not know this yet, does not know his son survived, does not know that the Force has been guiding events toward a confrontation that will decide the fate of the galaxy. For now, Vader returns to his Star Destroyer, interrogates Princess Leia, discovers nothing, and the machinery of the Empire continues grinding forward, unaware that the beginning of its end has already begun. Unaware that the son of Anakin Skywalker is about to step into a larger world, unaware that hope long buried is about to rise again. Princess Leia Organa refuses to break under interrogation. Vader senses her strength. Her defiance reminds him of something he cannot quite place. But she will not reveal the location of the rebel base. Grand Moff Tarkin decides to use crueler methods, bring her to the Death Star observation deck, show her what happens to those who defy the Empire. Alderaan, her home world. Billions of people. Tarkin gives the order. Leia watches in horror as the super laser fires, the planet explodes, becomes an asteroid field, her entire world. Her family, everything, gone in seconds. Vader is present, but does not give the order. This is Tarkin's decision, his method, but Vader does not stop it either. The Death Star represents ultimate imperial power, a battle station capable of destroying planets. Fear will keep the local systems in line, fear of this station. But the rebels have the plans, they know its weakness, and they are coming. Then Vader senses something impossible, a presence he has not felt since. Obi-Wan Kenobi. His former master is aboard the station, alive, after 19 years. The old man has come to rescue the princess, to shut down the tractor beam, to die. They meet in a corridor, face what remains of a face. "I have been waiting for you, Obi-Wan," Vader says, his voice mechanical, emotionless. "We meet again, at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." Obi-Wan ignites his lightsaber, calm, accepting. Only a master of evil, Darth. Their blades cross, blue against red. But this is not like Mustafar. Obi-Wan is old now, slower, and Vader has had 19 years to perfect his hatred, to channel his rage into power. He is stronger, faster, overwhelming. Yet Obi-Wan does not seem afraid. "If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." The words confuse Vader, anger him. He presses the attack, and then Obi-Wan does something inexplicable. He raises his blade, stops fighting, smiles, and Vader strikes. The blade passes through. But Obi-Wan does not fall. He vanishes. His robes collapse empty, gone. Become one with the Force, and for a moment, just a moment, Vader feels something crack in the armor around his heart. Confusion, ancient pain, a memory of a brother he murdered on Mustafar. But there is no time to process. The rebels are escaping. Luke Skywalker, though Vader does not know the name yet, is among them. Han Solo, Leia. They reach the Millennium Falcon and flee. Vader lets them go. A tracking device is aboard. They will lead the Empire straight to the rebel base. The Battle of Yavin unfolds exactly as predicted. The rebels attack the Death Star. Their snub fighters are no match for the station's defenses. TIE fighters swarm. Turbo lasers destroy them by the dozens, but a few get through, make their attack runs on the thermal exhaust port, the one weakness in the design. Vader flies his own TIE Advanced. He will not trust this to incompetent pilots. He enters the trench, locks onto the X-wings ahead, fires. One rebel explodes, then another, target after target. He is in perfect control. Then he focuses on the lead fighter, locks on, about to fire. And something stops him. a presence in the Force. Strong. Impossibly strong. Familiar in a way that makes no sense. The Force is strong. With this one, he says aloud, confused. The feeling intensifies, like an echo of something lost. Something he thought died 19 years ago on Polis Massa. He hesitates, just for a second. And in that second, the Millennium Falcon appears behind him. Han Solo firing. The shots hit Vader's wingman first, then graze his tire. The fighter spins out of control into space. Vader survives, but the moment is lost. The rebel fires. Luke Skywalker, guided by the Force, by Obi-Wan's voice, releases his torpedoes. They streak down the trench into the exhaust port, directly to the reactor core, and the Death Star, the Empire's ultimate weapon, explodes. Millions of personnel die instantly. Tarkin, countless officers, years of construction, trillions of credits, gone. Vader tumbles through space, alive but defeated, his tie damaged but functional. He regains control, watches the station explode, and inside him, questions form. Who was that pilot? Why did the Force react that way? What is this feeling he cannot name? The investigation begins immediately. Every detail about the attack, every rebel involved, and then a report comes from Boba Fett. The bounty hunter has been tracking the rebels, has information. The pilot who destroyed the Death Star, the one who made the impossible shot, his name is Skywalker. Vader goes completely still. Skywalker. The name he has not heard spoken in 19 years. The name he buried, the name that died on Mustafar. But it cannot be. Padme died. The child died with her. Palpatine told him, unless... He reaches out through the Force, searches, and finds it, an echo, a connection. His son, alive, on Tatooine, all these years, hidden by Obi-Wan, raised in secret. The boy who destroyed the Death Star is his son. The presence he felt in the trench, the strength in the Force, of course, the son of Anakin Skywalker. Everything changes in that moment. Vader has spent 19 years with nothing to live for except service and revenge. But now, he has a son, an heir, someone with his power, his potential, and a plan forms, not to serve Palpatine forever, but to find Luke, turn him. Together they can overthrow the Emperor, rule the galaxy as father and son. For the first time since Padme died, Vader has hope, twisted, dark, but hope nonetheless. He will find Luke Skywalker. He will make him understand. They are family. They belong together. And together they will destroy everything that stands in their way. The Emperor knows nothing of this, not yet. Vader keeps the knowledge secret, hidden, because this is his son, his future, his chance to finally escape Palpatine's control. He begins the search, deploys probe droids across the galaxy, hires bounty hunters, searches for any sign of the rebel base, of Luke Skywalker. And on a frozen world called Hoth, the rebels are hiding, building, preparing. And among them is Luke, training, learning, growing stronger in the Force, unaware that his father, the monster he has been taught to fear and hate, is searching for him with an intensity that borders on obsession. The collision course is set. Father and son, light and dark. The Force bringing them together for a confrontation that will reshape everything, and deep beneath the armor, beneath the hatred and the pain and the darkness, something Vader thought was dead forever begins to stir. Not hope, not yet, but the faintest possibility that perhaps, somehow, Anakin Skywalker is not entirely gone after all. 3 years after Yavin, Vader's obsession with finding Luke has consumed him. Probe droids scatter across the galaxy. One lands on Hoth, discovers the rebel base, Echo Base, hidden beneath ice and snow. The Empire mobilizes immediately. Vader leads the assault personally. AT walkers march across frozen plains. The rebels evacuate, but Vader is not interested in the base. He wants Luke, needs him, but Luke escapes in his X-Wing. Frustration burns, but Vader's plan is already in motion. He has bait. Han Solo and Princess Leia, the people Luke cares about. Vader hires bounty hunters. Boba Fett, IG-88, Bosk, Dengar. Whoever can find the Millennium Falcon, Fett succeeds, tracks them to Cloud City on Bespin, Lando Calrissian's territory. Vader arrives first, makes a deal. Lando betrays his old friend, hands over Han and Leia. But they are not the prize, they are the trap. Vader needs to test the carbon freezing process, needs to know if it will work on Luke, if he can preserve his son for transport to the Emperor, or perhaps if Vader is being honest with himself to keep Luke safe while he figures out how to turn him. Han Solo is frozen first. The process is brutal. Carbonite encases him, preserves him in perfect hibernation. He will be given to Boba Fett, payment for services rendered. Leia screams. Han's last words echo, "I love you, I know." Then he is gone, a slab of carbonite carried away. Luke arrives exactly as Vader knew he would, felt him coming. The force connection between father and son drawing them together like gravity. Luke walks into the carbon freezing chamber, sees his friends captured, draws his lightsaber. The blue blade ignites. Anakin's old lightsaber, the one Obi-Wan gave him. The duel begins. Father and son. Luke is brave but untrained. Yoda had started teaching him, but he left Dagobah too soon, rushed here to save his friends, and now he faces the most powerful Sith in the galaxy. Vader toys with him, tests him. The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet. They fight through the industrial complex. Luke holds his own better than expected, shows flashes of real skill. Impressive, most impressive. Obi-Wan has taught you well, but Vader is not trying to kill him. He is trying to break him, trying to make him desperate enough to accept the dark side. You have learned much, young one. Your destiny lies with me, Skywalker. But Luke resists, fights harder, and Vader begins to press, really press, drives him back, out onto catwalks, through corridors. Luke retreats, overwhelmed. You are unwise to lower your defenses. Vader strikes, severs Luke's hand. The lightsaber falls away into the abyss. Luke collapses on a gantry over a massive reactor shaft. Defenseless, Vader stands over him. There is no escape. Do not make me destroy you. He deactivates his lightsaber, speaks the words he has been holding since he learned the truth. You do not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Luke, clutching his severed hand, stares up at the monster who was once his father. I will never join you. Vader tries another approach. If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. Luke shouts back. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. And Vader speaks the truth that will shatter Luke's world. No, I am your father. Luke's face goes through shock, denial, horror. No, that's not true. That's impossible. Vader's voice is certain, absolute. Search your feelings, you know it to be true. And Luke does search his feelings, reaches out with the Force, and finds the truth of it. The connection he felt, the resonance, the impossible certainty. No. Luke, you can destroy the Emperor. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Come with me. It is the only way. But Luke looks at his severed hand. at the machine beneath the flesh, looks at Vader, at the mask hiding whatever remains of Anakin Skywalker, and makes a choice. Never. He lets go, falls backward, off the gantry, plummets down the reactor shaft, choosing death over the dark side, choosing death over joining the father who has caused so much suffering. Vader reaches out, tries to grab him with the Force. "Son, come with me." But Luke falls through a maintenance hatch, tumbles through conduits, emerges hanging from an antenna beneath Cloud City. The Millennium Falcon, piloted by Lando and Chewbacca, rescues him, escapes. Vader stands alone on his Star Destroyer, the Super Star Destroyer Executor, watching them flee. His son chose death rather than join him, rejected him completely. The confusion is profound, but underneath the confusion is something else, something he has not felt in decades. Doubt. Luke showed courage, refused the dark side, even facing death, chose pain over corruption, like Padme would have, like Anakin once might have. And for the first time in 19 years, Vader questions, not aloud, not even clearly, but the questions are there. What if the Emperor is wrong? What if there is another way? He contacts Palpatine. The hologram appears. "What is thy bidding, my master?" Palpatine's face is calculating, suspicious. There is a great disturbance in the Force. We have a new enemy. The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi. Vader responds carefully. If he could be turned, he would be a powerful ally. Yes, he would be a great asset. Can it be done? He will join us or die, Master. But inside, Vader is not certain anymore. Not certain of anything. Because his son looked at him and chose light over darkness, chose death over evil. And that choice, that impossible courage, has planted something in Vader that he thought was long dead. Not redemption, not yet, but a crack in the armor, a fissure in the absolute certainty that has defined him for 2 decades. And through that crack, the faintest light begins to seep in. The light of a son who refused to give up on the impossible, who looked at Darth Vader and said, "No." The next confrontation is inevitable. Vader knows it. The Emperor knows it. And somewhere in the galaxy, Luke Skywalker knows it too. Father and son will meet again, and when they do, one of them will turn or one of them will die. There is no third option. Or so they all believe. But the Force, as always, has plans that neither Jedi nor Sith can foresee. And the greatest surprise is yet to come. 1 year passes. The Empire constructs a second Death Star above the forest moon of Endor, more powerful than the first. Fully operational, Vader oversees construction, but his mind is elsewhere, on Luke, on their last encounter, on words that will not stop echoing, "I will never join you." Then, he senses it. Luke has returned, grown stronger, become what Vader both hopes for and fears, a Jedi. His son has come to Endor, and Vader knows why. One final attempt to turn him back, to save Anakin Skywalker. They meet on the landing platform. Stormtroopers bring Luke, hands bound. But Luke is calm, unafraid. "Father." The word spoken without malice, without fear, cuts deeper than any lightsaber. "I know there is good in you. The Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully. That is why you couldn't destroy me. That's why you won't bring me to your Emperor now." Vader turns away, cannot look at him. "You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master." Luke's voice is gentle, sad. "Then my father is truly dead." The words strike something deep, something Vader has kept buried for 23 years. He turns back, his voice filtered through the mask, carries an emotion he thought dead. "It is too late for me, son." "No, come with me." Luke's faith is absolute, unshakable, and it terrifies Vader, because part of him, a part he thought burned away on Mustafar, wants to believe, wants to hope, but he cannot. Obi-Wan once thought as you do. You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master." Vader takes Luke to the Death Star, brings him before the Emperor, and Palpatine is delighted. "Young Skywalker, welcome. I have been expecting you." The game begins. Palpatine manipulating, goading, revealing that the rebel fleet is walking into a trap, that their friends will die, that everything they fought for will be destroyed. Luke resists, but Palpatine knows how to break Jedi. "Your hate has made you powerful. Now fulfill your destiny and take your father's place at my side." Luke refuses. "I am a Jedi, like my father before me." The words hit Vader like a physical blow. "My father not was, is." Luke still believes. Palpatine's face twists with rage. "If you will not be turned, you will be destroyed." He raises his hands. Force lightning erupts, blue-white energy coursing into Luke, burning him, killing him slowly. And Luke screams, writhes, falls. Vader stands watching, his master torturing his son. And inside the armor, inside the machine, something ancient awakens. Luke's words replay. "I know there is good in you." Padme's dying voice whispers, "There's still good in him." Obi-Wan's grief echoes. "You were my brother, Anakin." "Father, please." Luke's voice barely audible over the crackling lightning. "Father, please, help me." And Vader looks at his son, dying, looks at his master, laughing, enjoying the suffering. And 23 years of service, of pain, of darkness, shatters in a single moment of clarity. He is not Vader. He is Anakin Skywalker, and this is his son. The choice is instant, absolute. He moves, grabs Palpatine. The lightning redirects into him, into his life support, his systems failing, sparking, dying. But he does not let go, lifts the Emperor, carries him to the reactor shaft, and hurls him down. The Emperor's scream fades, the lightning stops, and Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, architect of the Empire, is gone. Vader collapses, the damage catastrophic. Luke crawls to him, drags him toward the hangar. "We have to get you out of here." But Anakin knows the suit is failing, his breathing labored, failing. "Luke, help me take this mask off. You'll die. Nothing can stop that now. Just for once, let me look on you with my own eyes." Luke hesitates, then carefully removes the mask, piece by piece, and beneath is a face, scarred, pale, but human, Anakin Skywalker's face. He looks at his son with his own eyes, really sees him, and smiles. A real smile, weak but genuine. "Now go, my son. Leave me." "No, you're coming with me. I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you." "You already have, Luke." Anakin's voice is barely a whisper. "You were right. You were right about me. Tell your sister. You were right." His eyes close. The breathing stops. And Anakin Skywalker, slave, Jedi, Sith, father, dies, redeemed, free, the prophecy fulfilled. He brought balance, destroyed the Sith, not the way anyone expected, not through power or victory, but through love, through sacrifice, through choosing his son over his master, light over darkness. Luke carries his father's body to a shuttle, escapes as the Death Star explodes. On Endor the rebels celebrate, the Empire defeated, the galaxy free. Luke builds a funeral pyre, lays the armor on it, lights it, and watches as the last physical remnant of Darth Vader burns away. That night, among the celebration, Luke sees them, Force ghosts, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and beside them, young again, whole again, Anakin Skywalker. Not the broken monster in the mask, but Anakin as he was meant to be, before the fall, before the darkness, smiling, at peace, finally home. The journey is complete. from a slave boy dreaming under twin suns to the Dark Lord who nearly destroyed the galaxy, to a father who gave everything to save his son. The Chosen One fulfilled his destiny, not through strength, not through power, but through the very thing the Sith can never understand: love. Anakin's story is a tragedy and a triumph, a warning and a hope. It shows that no matter how far you fall, no matter how much darkness consumes you, redemption is possible. As long as there is someone who believes in you, someone who refuses to give up, someone who looks at the monster and sees the man beneath. Luke Skywalker saved the galaxy, but first he saved his father, and in saving him proved that the light side will always be stronger than the dark, not because of power, but because love, true love, is the most powerful force in the universe, stronger than hatred, stronger than fear, stronger than death itself. The twin suns of Tatooine set one more time, where it all began, where a boy once dreamed of adventure and purpose. That boy became a hero, then a monster, then a father, then finally, at the very end, a hero again. The mechanical breathing has stopped. The armor is ash, and Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, rests in the Force. Forever free, forever redeemed, forever remembered not for the darkness he embraced, but for the light he returned to. His legacy lives on in his children. In the new republic they will build, in the hope that even in the darkest times there is always a chance for redemption. The saga ends not with death, but with rebirth, not with despair, but with hope. And the Force, eternal and infinite, whispers the truth that Anakin learned too late, but learned nonetheless. That love is stronger than hate, that hope is stronger than fear, and that even the darkest night must eventually give way to dawn. May the Force be with you, always.